And here we are. Oh, what perfect timing. We just got to see the boy leave. He just had his dinner. I just had my dinner. I hope you've all had a wonderful dinner. And we're back. Basically, yeah, we're just going to be chilling tonight. As I've been telling everybody, just making some pretty music. After dinner music, a little aperitif. Dinner's the aperitif. I don't know English. Don't worry about it. Well, that's French, so it still counts. Great. So basically, yeah, we're just going to chill. We're going to have some good musics. As I mentioned last time, I am looking into exploring a lot more Italian repertoire, just because it's something I needed to do. Honestly, I haven't done enough of it because I spent my entire conservatory career pretty much obsessed with French music. So I still am obsessed with French music, by the way. French Baroque, French Renaissance is just to die for, but there comes a time in a man's life when he needs to learn Italian music. Also Italian, had to learn that too. Forgot all of it. So welcome, one and all. We're just tuning up the lute. It's probably these guys. That's the ones. Come on. Yeah, so the thing about lutes is that they are such touchy instruments. They sound beautiful when they're in tune, but even the slightest change in the weather can really just mess them up. So, yeah. Alright, so what we're going to mess with a little bit first, I'm kind of already warmed up, so no real need to worry about that over much. So here's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's right. Look at that. Professional transitions. I'll never get over that, because I still feel like such a baby streamer. I've been doing it for a while on Twitch, but, you know. Warmed up very well right before dinner, and then we get here after dinner, so we're kind of warmed down, but we're gonna do the thing. Hopefully I can find a good angle where you guys can actually see what I'm doing, and also, you know, my beautiful visage. So right here, don't worry about the dedications on the top. This is actually music of Marco dell'Aquila once more. I did a little bit of that last week as well, because I am simply obsessed with the sound, but you know, it's rather lovely, and I do want to include it in the actual concert that I'm going to put on. So it's a great place to start. I will be digging into some other stuff, and as I said in all of my announcements today, there will be at least 50% less sight reading than there has been, because I'm told that people like hearing music sounding put together, not as much, you know, slapdash like I like doing. Man, it's been a while since I played that. So that's excellent. So these are Richard Carr's. Richard Carr is a kind of... So this is the late 16th century that we're looking at, because he lived from about the 1540s to around 1600, just a little bit, died a little bit before it. So this kind of music is kind of fugal. So basically what I mean is it's got a lot of counterpoint in it. And then it basically just has that same voice repeat elsewhere. Where does he do it? I don't remember where he does it in this one. I forget. So it's basically repeating the same pattern again and again and again in these really interesting intertwined parts. So it's all about that sort of beautiful carrying through of voices. Now, the one that I'm playing is the one at the bottom of the page, if you couldn't tell, and it's the Ricercar Sopra Benedicta es, Motetto di Josquin. Now, that's basically a motet that Josquin des Prés, an incredible composer, wrote at least a good century before this guy was around, and his music was still done. It's a little Ricercar on his music, so yeah, it's kind of cool. It takes the melody from that and works it. However, at the top, you'll see there's a Ricercar senza canto, meaning it's just a Ricercar, just instrumental. So let's do that a bit. Practice this one. Whoops. I thought I did. Oh, yes. I did promise less sight reading, none whatsoever. But the one that I did kind of practice up was this one a little bit, the third, which I think is just adorable. Excellent. So welcome one and all who are joining. Charming, isn't it? I absolutely adore it. Yeah, I basically got obsessed completely with Marco a long time ago in this performance where Odette was playing him, and it was wonderful. And yeah, of course, you'd be obsessed with anything Odette plays, but it was the first I'd heard of this composer. I was like, whoa, I need to get my hands on that music. So, as I was saying earlier, I am putting together a recital that's going to be happening in April, I want to say. I think those of you who are joining, welcome. And of course, Wapalo, you will probably know exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to be a largely Italian program, and I want this guy to feature pretty strongly on it. But I haven't done too much work with his stuff. I was actually working with, what was his name? Barbetta. I'm going to do a lot of Barbetta because I feel like not nearly enough people do his music. I definitely want to do some earlier 16th as well. Like right here. Everybody's favorite. So, Wapolo, I know you're going to see some like good old good old favorites, ones you probably know well, ones you probably even heard before, but, you know, we still love them anyway. And I'm giving you something pretty to look at, right? I love this tablature so much. I love it. Again, another one I haven't played in ages, but that's one that's absolutely going in the book, as it were. Certainly going on for the recital, because it's just so damn juicy. If you can't tell, I like playing a little bit more freehand with some of the rhythms on it, just because I feel like it's more exciting that way. Because with a lot of early Renaissance lute music, so not early Renaissance, but like early for the lute Renaissance, I feel like there's a lot more freedom of melody, and I feel like we need to explore that a little bit more. So basically, I just like to have a lot more fun with it that way. Hang on, I need to set stimul. Cool. Yes, that's on 83. By the way, I do hope everybody's had a lovely dinner at this point. I know I did. We actually put together some egg drop soup, and it was rather amazing. So, can definitely highly recommend. So, I hope to provide some excellent after-dinner entertainment. Now, let's see. I want to linger on Caparola for a little bit. I'll probably go back to Aquila at some point, but I find myself in the mood for something absurd, and that's exactly what I find all over this book, and why I love it so much. marvelous. Cheers, everybody. Just gotta naturally take the tea break. Excellent. Now, I don't know about any of you, but I have absolutely dulled all of my resistance to caffeine and find that I need it at all hours of the day. So green tea, not a problem for me. Today, we're drinking Dragonwell, fresh in from Adagio Teas. No sponsorship, yet. But at the same time, I feel like I would want something a little bit more sourced than Adagio. It's nice, and they actually point out the farmer, but, you know, I'm a snob, what can I say? So, what we need from Capirola, and what we need from most of our sources, is a good spread. We need maybe a couple of Richer cars. We need a couple more dancey tunes if we can find them. And I know there are a few more in here, but I'm just addicted to the Richer cars. We definitely need some Spaniola from this guy. Let's see. What's this one like? I actually haven't played this one. So a lot of what I've been playing so far is stuff that I know pretty decently. Well, somewhat decently. This I don't, but let's see how we can do. What was that? What does he want with those, I wonder? So this is where the question of tablatures really comes in, and this is the sort of pedantic demo moment, I suppose, of the evening. Because when you look at music like this, right, it's not, like, you have to wonder, since it's one of the first lute tablatures that was ever written, like, how standardized or not standardized is it? And you ask yourself the question of, what did he mean? Because in a lot of Italian tablature like this, you look at the zeros and you'll be like, okay, so we know that's an open course, right? But you'll notice that he's kind of erring on the top side. Now, is he trying to suggest we play like a course below the sixth for such an early thing? Maybe. Maybe not. Or was he just was he drunk and was he writing his zeros a little high, you know? And when I was studying classics, the phrase was Homer nodded, because if something didn't rhyme or work in the Odyssey, well, it's because he nodded off while he was speaking or writing. So, you know, did Capirola nod here? Who knows? Yep, my phone wants to make a duet, doesn't it? Go away. So as you can see, we're hoping we keep power through this stream, because there's something of a storm outside. You might have heard of Ida rolling through the States. So, yeah, hopefully we keep that and nothing goes awry. I hope everybody else out there is being safe, by the way, if you're in the path of the storm as well. But yeah, this one seems promising. But since it's a lot of running, I don't want to torture you with all of the nonsensicalness that I could bring to it. But the one that, where is it? It was up here. Yeah, there it is. The Paduano Discorda, nel ton something or other. This one is special. And this is one that I did practice, and I do want to do, because it's just so delightful. That's right. Still need some time in the woodshed, as it were. Or not taking out behind the shed, as it were. Not at all. Because I just have to include it because of this little eccentricity. Just the splitting of the chorus. Ah, excellent. So, yes, as I was saying before, welcome, one and all, to those who may be joining us. It's good to see you here. Glad to have you here after dinner for this lovely musical treat. This evening, we're going over some lovely Italian music that's going to be going into a recital fairly shortly. Now, the interesting thing is I got this message from the director who was saying that for funding purposes, we can't quite do a just performance idea. It must be more of a demo. And I was thinking, well, I kind of do demos for all my performances, don't I? Kind of like this, actually, where I just sort of talk at people and tell them, hey, this is cool because, because I'm a nerd, I have to know too much, and I do, and I just get obsessed with it. So I think what we'll do is we'll demo sort of the weirdness of the lute in Italy in the 16th century, because it was still kind of like a lot of the techniques and things that we expect in the 17th and the 18th centuries with it, they were still very even formative, especially in the way that they were written down. Like, you wouldn't see this technique anywhere. This is the only place I've ever seen it. If anybody else has seen it somewhere, please let me know, because I'm curious. But furthermore, this is also a great example of what I was just talking about. Like, what the hell does a zero mean? Normally it'd be like, well, it's clearly a Renaissance lute, right? So it should be tuned this way with a G on that like top line of up there, so for the bass. However, that doesn't work, does it? It would be right? That doesn't work. So logically, somebody like me would look at it and be like, well, of course it's actually an F, not a G, because you got so then it presents some interesting problems where fives like this would be wrong, but here they'd be right. Right? So easy fixes all across the board if you're experienced, but it wasn't standardized. So somehow, somewhere, this should be notated as being in F. Now, if you're really sharp, I'm fairly sure that this up here says that somehow, but I don't know that. I'm a stupid American and only know English. So, not strictly true, but you get the idea. So, it wasn't standardized at all, even the tunings of the strings. Like, if you look, for example, let's find another good one. No. Why not? I haven't played this one, but let's figure it out, and you'll see what I mean. So, remember how we just ascertained that the 6th course, in theory, should be an F, if that other one is consistent? Cool little entabulation, right? But the whole time, like, just when you're looking at it, I just instinctively was like, no, it shouldn't be an F. It should be a G in this one for the 6th course. Because that just makes more sense. Because so that makes a lot more harmonic sense, right? You see more examples of it throughout. But just, for counterexample. So mean, I suppose that could work actually, but the others couldn't. So let's see. Yeah, I like that one. Right in the, what is it, the third to last measure in the top line? Nope. So, Scordator was everywhere. Lute tunings were everywhere, lute techniques were everywhere, and this one is fascinating because it actually indicates so much with all these tiny little minutiae. Look at all those little markings in this. This is so cool. So I wonder what those meant. Those markings. And by the way, if anybody in the chat knows, please do disclose, because I want your secrets. I totally won't publish them, I promise. But it's exactly this kind of thing that fascinates me about the Caparola manuscript in particular, because in early music, particularly early music, you had no writings of ornamentation in a lot of the stuff that was in typical manuscript, but in lute stuff you did, and you had a lot more specificity, particularly here, because look at this. Like, he'll have numbers sort of written in dots, like here's where an ornament should go. And so forth. Yeah, that's it. So gorgeous, right? So I got distracted by playing because it's so pretty. But this is kind of what I wanted to show you. So when you're going through, you see all these intricate signs placed everywhere, probably for emphasis and de-emphasis, like... So it's got those specificities, but at the same time it even writes out some ornaments. Like that run, that's entirely like a flourish and ornament. So that is, like, or at least to my eyes, clearly an ornament. And that didn't show up in any other music, just in lute music at this time, which makes the lute music special. And that's one thing I think deserves highlighting once you get into like a recital, right? Or at least a demo. Excuse me, we can't call it a recital. Oh, and yes, welcome, welcome, one and all. We're just getting pedantic about lute music as we play some pretty music. Just about what we're going to do in a recital, a demo lecture recital that I do. So, yeah, strap in. It's good stuff. Let me see. So, we're also going through this. We're also going through some Aquila, which I've been messing around with practicing. Like this one. Oh, I love it. I actually put it on Instagram earlier today. So, Wapolo, if you're still there, this is for you. So, marginally more in tune than it was in the Instagram performance, because this bass note, I kind of had to leave the recording as it was just because I thought it was funny. Because like just landing on a sour bass note was so good. It's still not perfectly in tune, but it's marginally better this way. A little flat, isn't it? Let's fix that. So to anybody who has just joined, I've already told you what we're doing, but I hope you had a wonderful dinner, and I hope that you come to enjoy a nice after-dinner snack, as it were. Yeah, so that's the 6th Ruchakara, and it's so good. So, yeah, it's a little hard to decide what to throw into the recital and what to not, because it's all so juicy. Which one? Which one? Didn't look at that one. Let's see. I'll try the Sopra Benedictus again. So for anybody who wasn't here at the beginning, we're going to go through a little bit more of this one, and then we're going to probably shift things up once we get to the 8:40 or so. You can't see the time on my computer, but I hope that it's something accurate for you guys. So let's see. Ooh, that G is starting to go. Have to leave it though. So I need to replace my G string real badly, and no puns please, because this thing is going, because if I leave it like that, it's sharp and slightly out, but if I do this, suddenly it's kind of in tune. Gotta replace that. Can't have it be. But right now we're going to dive into this, which I think is fascinating. A 16th century author performing, or scoring, or a guy from the late 16th century scoring, a guy from the mid 15th, I think it was, for Zoska. I guess a version of early music for his time, but it's really cool stuff. All right. Short and sweet. I feel like that's perfect reel content, essentially. I mean, do we think that people would actually watch like little 30-second reels or 30 little YouTube shorts of lute music? Because there's so much that's written that's just so short and pretty, just like that. I wonder if there's an audience for that. Just the ravings of a mad luteman. But let me know if you'd like to see that kind of thing, because I've been considering making shorts. I just don't really know what of. I guess music, right? Actually, you know what? I kind of want to refresh this just in case. Cool. Yeah. Played this yet, but I can already say that I'm gonna like it. So now my question for you, all of you, is this. Tell me, would we prefer like a straight Italian program, or see some Italian influences in it as well? because that I think would also be quite interesting. But, alas, as much as I would like to keep trawling through the Aquila, let me see, is there anything that's reasonable? I thought I saw something. I think this one is. Absolutely wacky, but excellent. Cool. So as I was saying, I'm probably not going to torture anybody else's ears with any more sight reading, which, whilst fun and whilst delightful to me, is probably to a few others. So what I want to do then is to take you all on a journey. Let's see. There we go. Dealer's choice. I like the sound of that. Let me see. Dealer's choice, he says. You clearly haven't been on the stream for very long, have you? But welcome to the stream nonetheless. Monsieur Ruben, if that is your real name. Let's see. Cool. Let's put something pretty on, huh? Just can't get the goddamn Okay, never mind. You can't tell what kind of struggle I'm having right now with the pixels. Alright, so we need... Gervais. So Ricky Gervais was composing loop music, huh? No. We got... There he is. There he is. I think we can classify Holborn this way, but I kind of want to... You know what? I will come back to that. Let's see. I think this is the one that I know. I think it is. But you know how it is when we get onto old Serge's music. Dude, I was actually just talking about the G string and how I need to replace this G string. It's old. Oof. Sorry about that. Cheers all. And that is some good old Tony. Tony Holborn, you know. Don't worry, you haven't been bandy yet, but I'm keeping an eye on you. You and your comments about certain strings. We don't do that sort of thing here, do we? We're too mature for that. Actually, though, it's funny because I wish that I had the mature filter on for like I do on Twitch. But we adapt, we thrive, we do the thing. YouTube will probably demonetize me once I get to the point of monetization. Not there yet, but one day soon. So the thing about Holborn, I would love to include him, but I'm not sure how much of the influence I'm seeing. But what we can see is that he's got the same deal going as Caparola. We can see that he's got the same nonsense with regards to like the extremely long written out ornamented passages, which is fascinating because you see that almost nowhere else in a lot of repertoire, even up until his time. So it's like, do we consider this like the rest and lavish this with insane amounts of ornamentation on top of this, or is this just demonstration? Hard to say. But considering that a lot of papers use lute music, especially early lute music, as examples of what to do for ornamentation, who knows? Except what we do know is that this thing needs to shut the hell up. Yes. By the way, welcome to one and all who are joining us. We're just playing through some beautiful after-dinner music. I do hope you stick around and enjoy. We were messing around with a lot of just hot Italian stuff with excellent musics. But we've moved on to some English stuff because I'm looking for some Italian influences. Now, I'm trying not to go too late with a lot of the English stuff because, like, the farther you start going, they start going off in their own weird direction, especially when you get Daniel and Bachelor, in my opinion. But, again, highly opinionated. What do I know? Actually, I did get a message privately, which is telling me exactly one thing that I am forgetting. So we need to skip on past Dowland. And you know who we need to look at? That's right. You're a fan of Milanos, aren't you? I know I am. Chocolate all the way. I'm a fat boy. What can I say? But PDFs, please. Let's see. So my only issue here is there's no organization to any of this. Not really. Because, like, if you look at the actual books, like, he divides them into books, but how am I supposed to know what thing goes to which book in this, if any of it? But it's all Milano, so it's all excellent. It's just really tight. Now, I'm going to play through this because a lot of Milano is actually extremely playable. I find not difficult at all, but there's always like one measure or three measures, like an entire thing, that are always the challenge. so that's Milano. Absolutely sweet. But see what I meant? Just like there are 3 measures that are just a bear somewhere in there. But altogether, I actually really quite like this. I think we need to throw the Milano in as well. That sounds like a pretty full program, right? Like doing some little focuses on Milano. What was it? Oh, my God, how did I forget? It's Giulio Cesare something or other. Starts with a V. It'll come to me. That dude, named after Julius Caesar. Milano, Aquila. Do we really want to do Caparola? So that's at least 4 big boys. I don't know. We'll do some more. Anyhow, again, I should say, welcome to the stream. Anybody who's just tuning in, welcome. We're just enjoying ourselves, having some good musics. But yeah, we've more or less come to the end of the Italian run so far. So I'm going to tie off the Italian bit, and I will dive right back into the English just because it's my happy place. I was raised on a healthy diet of nothing but English music from the 16th century, more or less. I blame my father, and if he's on the stream right now, yes, I do blame you. I grew up just listening to Bird every Saturday morning or so, and Tallis, occasionally Bach if I was lucky. Poor child that I was. Let's see, where are we going? Yeah, just because he's such an easy one to go with. Just do it. But we're doing something a little bit differently than last time. I'm going to do a few different tunes, not just the same old every time. Let me see if I can dig up one that I like. Of course, now that we're in familiar territory, friendly ground, I will take any and all requests with regards to Dowland, just because I'm curious. Do we want new? We don't want Diggory, because Diggory is boring. Let's see. How was this one? Oh, yeah, it's this one. Do we feel like doing this one? Let's see. Alright, I should switch styles. Doing Dowland and Thumb Under is so painful. It feels almost like it should be better in Thumb Under, actually. Weird. Cute and simple. Cute and simple. It's been ages since we went through there. But I feel like playing something with a little more meat. What do you guys think? A little more meat? Let's see. I'm thinking some meat. Where's the beef? Where is the beef? What do we think? Some kind of Almain, some kind of entabulation, or perhaps something that's more fugal, something that's more like a fantasia. Ooh, a dream. Let me see. A dream. I must beg pardon for the delays on the stream. Speaking of dreams, have I played this before? I think I have. Yes, I think I remember this one. Alright, the gauntlet has been thrown down by the dear Wapolo. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, please tell me, because I embarrass myself on stream all the time. So let me... Alright, it's this one. You know, I don't think I actually ever have given this one a proper whack. So this one, if we're going by the classic approach, it's what? You choose your rhythm based on the fastest non-ornamental rhythm. So what would that be? That would be... something like that. Wilson, I will remember. I beg your pardon. Well, welcome to my butchering of the dream. We will butcher Wilson's dream. Let's see if we can learn this. So live learning. Let's do this. This is why I love repeats. Repeats give you a chance to redeem yourself. Repeat redemption. Ah. I like it. I like it very much. No, of course, Wilson, I have to beg your pardon for all of the damage that I did to it, because I've never given it the time of day, honestly, in any of my practice throughs, but I definitely will now. This is actually gorgeous. Yeah, so to anybody else who's watching and enjoying seeing a strange man hack his way through music for the first time in some cases, this is excellently English, and a great example of the difficulty of actually making your tones ring through properly and actually, sound good, essentially, on the lute. Because the real trick with tablature is learning exactly how long you're supposed to sustain the note, because you can see the rhythm markings on top of it, right? You can see how it's like, okay, so this is a dotted quarter, essentially. Here's your 16th note, your 8ths, what have you. But it doesn't tell you how long to hold each given note. Like, it doesn't, like on the first chord on the top, you've got 4 notes, but how long do you hold the bottom 3? The top one, we know we change it fast because it goes to... So when you're a more experienced lutenist, oh, why, thank you. Well, thank you. Sight reading is what we do here. But even though we shouldn't, theoretically. But, hey, you guys came to me. But, yeah, so that's the real trick, because when you start diving into the more advanced end of lute music, that's what you need to care about. You need to care about the counterpoint, because the composers cared about it. You can see it in the way that they wrote their like choral music. They cared a great deal about how long notes would last underneath one another. So on that first measure to the second measure, like, what do we do? For example, we've got this D major chord, essentially. Do we just hold the whole thing like, and then break it for this? I almost think we do, because the English loved really crunchy sounds. I mean, like, look at the third part, was it? I think? Yeah. When you have... Which is just so English, so beautiful. That crunch, the false relation. So I feel like we should, even in the beginning, and I think that's what we should guide our hand with, right? Now, nobody crucify me. I know that was a Baroque trill, but I felt like it, damn it. Performers, privilege. But, yeah, who could even tell that that was a completely new learning? It sounds like I've been playing it for years, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Oh, dear. Family members' houses are flooding. This bloody thing. I will say, though, this is the perk of living on the top floor. And I can't tell if you guys can even hear it, but there's not much to see from where we're sitting, so I won't try to show you. But, oh my god, the heavens are pouring today. You missed out, Monsieur Ruben. I know that you went straight off to the West Coast, so you're missing out on all the fun, as it were. But, yeah, I think that'll about do it. I hope you enjoyed The Dream by John Dowland. You were subjected to it all of 3 times or so, but I think it was quite lovely. With that done, it's about 9:10, so I think it's about time for me to go take some kind of break. If I find the time this evening, I'll hopefully be back maybe on Twitch around 9:30 or so. I need to start learning how to put these together with actually fuller descriptions for my live streams, because I'm, again, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm a baby streamer. I don't really know all the ins and outs, at least of YouTube. I know kind of how Twitch works, but I'm still fairly new with all this. Oh, for example, look at that. Pro move. Am I right? But hey, at least, we've managed to deal with the cat who's actually been gnawing on the cables, and we're no longer really having that issue anymore. But, serious question for the... I'm sure it's... Actually, that's a good point. Would we rather be on fire, or would we rather be sopping wet with the storm out here? The question of our age, am I right? But, yeah, so I think we're going to go take that break and just go chill for a bit. But it has been wonderful hanging out with all of y'all here. I was on a roll talking about something, but I completely forget what it was. So, oh yes. So next time. Next time I will be streaming on Friday, and I'm hoping to do Wednesdays and Fridays, of course, like usual. But good news for those of you who are actually interested in coming on out. My schedule is about to open up a great deal more than it has been, because I've been trying to prepare for this whole day job transition thing out of unemployment into some day job that's actually sustainable and makes me lots of buckets of money and all that. But I no longer have to do the boot camp that I'm in, so after next week, hopefully, if I can actually finish it this week, which means I will also be adding probably Mondays to live streaming as well. So hopefully we'll be out here a lot more often. I've got some videos that are coming out hopefully pretty soon. It just depends on whether or not I can be satisfied with the script. And yeah, hopefully we'll be doing a lot more music and a lot more YouTube nonsense shenanigans. So in the meantime, thanks again for coming out. If you want to catch these streams afterwards, I generally unlist these and basically save the replays for the patrons, but I will have all the beautiful curated content on YouTube, so feel free to check all that out. Otherwise, hit up the Patreons if you want to actually catch all of these in their unlisted form. They're for pretty much all levels. Everybody can see them. So yeah, otherwise, thanks again for coming out. It's really been a pleasure having y'all here. More music on Friday, which I think will be a certain Zelda special, something that I've had working for a little while. It's going to be a lot of fun. And on Monday, who knows, maybe we'll do something completely different, because I have big plans for this channel, and we're just beginning. So thanks for coming on out. You guys have a great rest of your evening. I should say. Cheers.